Last week, I was at an event of an organization that I had had very limited experience with. It was the Construction Leadership Network, and it was a really fantastic experience. They did their first conference since COVID, and I know we're all still kind of bouncing back from COVID when it comes to attending conferences and events. This was an extremely energetic and very well run conference, especially from my perspective as a speaker. I was able to speak for an hour and 45 minutes, which was phenomenal. Didn't feel any crunch time, any pressure to reduce. I had a fantastic number of people in my room. They were very interactive. It was extremely conversational. We got great feedback from them. And the whole event was structured in such a way as to create just maximal networking conversations with each other. And the really outstanding aspect of this, from my perspective, was just how extraordinarily friendly everyone was. It's not at all uncommon at an event like this for people to be somewhat uncomfortable, maybe a little standoffish, maybe a little aloof, kind of wondering, what do you want from me? Are you going to sell at me? And there was none of this at this event. It was extremely friendly professionals who wanted to engage in meaningful conversations. So not just, hey, how you doing? How's the weather? How was the game last night? But how are you doing? How is your business going? What can I do to help? And I talked to several of the members of this group who had been attending these events for years and years. I discovered that this organization has quite a history. It used to be called the Jack Miller Network. And about 5 years ago, it transitioned to this, the Construction Leadership Network. And the reason for the outstanding culture of this meeting, I think, is entirely Jack Miller's doing. Or maybe I shouldn't say entirely, because the current people who run the organization are doing a great job sustaining the culture that Jack founded. But from what I understand, when Jack founded his organization and these events, he specifically said, it's all about sharing, show up to give, give, give. And that's really what my experience was. Everyone was there to share their wisdom, share their knowledge, share their perspective. Many of the folks at this event were owners of construction firms or senior leaders of construction firms, and they were there to share the wealth, share what they had in their heads. And I think part of the reason why there was no self-consciousness, no concern, is because these folks were from all over the place, everywhere throughout the country and beyond. There were a lot of Canadians there, and just time and time again, they said they were willing to share their perspectives and their wisdom because there was no competition going on. These folks are all far enough from each other that there's no direct competition. The number of people at this event was great. And I think the atmosphere and the unselfishness of the atmosphere would have been sustained even if there was a whole lot more people there. So I really want to invite you to check it out. It's the Construction Leadership Network. I will list a link in the notes below. It's a profoundly great organization. They're going to be doing more than just an annual conference. So you're going to want to check out the other events that they do. Check it out if you are in construction or if you work with construction professionals. Let me know what you think.